The night was quiet, but not the peaceful kind. It was the kind of quiet that felt like someone had turned the world hollow. In the dim light of the supermarket parking lot, a little boy's shaky voice broke through the cold air. "Mama, are we bad people?" His small words trembled like a leaf in a storm. Ayan, a single dad walking toward his car with bags of groceries, stopped so suddenly that one of the bags slipped from his hand. Something inside him twisted. He had heard many sad things in his life, but nothing hit him the way that question did. He looked toward the dark car a few steps away. Two figures sat inside, both shadows trembling in the night. Dear viewers, if this opening touched your heart even a little, pause for a moment and drop a comment about what part pulled you in. And please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to Whispers of Kindness. Your support keeps these stories alive. Ayan took a slow breath and walked to the car. His footsteps felt heavier with each step, as if the universe itself was urging him not to walk past. Through the window, he saw a young woman, exhausted and pale, trying to comfort a boy who looked no older than 6. The woman's eyes were red and swollen from crying. The child held a faded blanket to his chest like it was the only safe thing left in the world. Ayan gently tapped on the window. The woman flinched, pulling the boy closer. She rolled down the window just an inch, fear tucked into every movement. "Yes," she whispered. Ayan offered a soft smile. "I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. I heard the little one. Is everything okay?" She forced a nod. "We're fine. Thank you." But the lie was too thin. The boy's hunger-filled eyes, the bag stuffed in the back seat, the cold air slipping through the broken window. Nothing about them was fine. Ayan remembered nights when he held his daughter Noor after her mother died, trying to pretend things were okay even when his world had caved in. He took a step back. "All right, I understand." But instead of walking away, he went inside the store again. When he returned, he was carrying warm meals, fruit, and a small chocolate bar for the child. He held them out gently, not forcing, just offering. The woman stared at the food like it was a lifeline wrapped in steam. "We don't need charity," she whispered, but her voice cracked with hunger and pride fighting each other. Before she could say anything else, the boy reached out with tiny hands and took the chocolate bar. Ayan smiled. "Kids always know the truth first." Her shoulders dropped. "Thank you," she whispered, barely audible. They sat in the cold parking lot as she slowly began telling him her story. Her name was Mira. She had run away from an abusive husband 3 weeks ago. She had hoped to find safety, but instead found exhaustion, fear, and empty nights sleeping in the car. She had been too afraid to go to the police, too ashamed to ask anyone for help. She kept moving from place to place, hoping the world would allow her to disappear quietly. But children don't disappear. They hurt in ways they can't explain. "He thinks we are bad people for leaving," Mira said. Her voice cracked like thin glass. "He thinks everything is his fault." Ayan felt something inside him break. He thought of Noor, how she had once asked him, "Baba, did I do something wrong to make Mama go to heaven?" No parent is ever ready for questions like that. Ayan told Mira about a shelter he volunteered at, a place safe enough for families like hers, a place that offered food, warmth, classes, counseling, and a door that locked securely. Mira hesitated. She had trusted someone once, and it had cost her everything. But then she looked at her son, and the fear in her heart softened. She nodded. The shelter welcomed them with gentle smiles, warm blankets, and hot tea. Mira cried quietly when the staff handed Sammy a clean bed to sleep in. It was the first bed he had seen in weeks. That night, for the first time in a long time, Mira slept without keeping one eye open. But safety didn't erase pain overnight. The next morning, the challenges began. Challenge 1 was trust. Every sound startled Mira. The slam of a door made her jump. A stranger walking too close made her freeze. She apologized for everything, as if she believed her existence was an inconvenience. Challenge 2 was finances. She had no degree, no savings, and no confidence. The shelter helped her register for classes in stitching and computer basics, but she often felt she wasn't good enough. She broke down one afternoon and admitted she didn't remember the last time she felt proud of herself. Challenge 3 was Sammy. The boy wouldn't let go of her hand. He cried in his sleep. He feared every shadow. When anyone raised their voice, even in excitement, he hid behind his mother. Challenge 4 was Ayan's own life. He worked long hours to support Noor. Helping Mira meant cutting into sleep. Into rest, into time he barely had. But every time he saw Sammy's shy smile or heard Mira's quiet, "Thank you," something inside him healed too. Noor often told him, "Baba, Mama, would be proud of you." That single sentence carried him through his hardest days. Time passed. Ayan visited often, bringing Noor with him. Noor and Sammy became inseparable. They played in the shelter garden, chasing each other through the flowers, their laughter stitching hope back into the air. Sometimes laughter is the strongest medicine, especially for children who have heard too much shouting. Slowly, Mira began to trust herself again. She completed her stitching course and started making small bags for the shelter's gift shop. People loved her work. For the first time in years, she earned her own money. It wasn't much, but every coin felt like a brick in a new foundation. Ayan helped her apply for a job at a nearby tailoring shop. The owner hired her after seeing her careful hands and kind smile. The day Mira received her first official paycheck, she cried in the staff room for 10 minutes, clutching the envelope like it was life itself. Sammy also began healing. Counseling helped him understand that he wasn't to blame for the chaos around him. He slept better. He spoke louder. He even smiled without fear. One day, while playing with Noor, he tugged on Ayan's sleeve. "Uncle, do you remember the night you helped us outside the store?" "Yes," Ayan replied. Sammy nodded softly. "I don't think we are bad people anymore." Ayan's eyes stung. He knelt and held Sammy's shoulders gently. "You were never bad. You were hurt." Big difference. Mira stood nearby, wiping tears with the back of her hand. For the first time, they weren't tears of fear or shame. They were tears of release. Weeks later, Mira moved into a small apartment with her son. It wasn't large, but the paint smelled fresh, and the windows let in real sunlight instead of street lamps. Ayan and Noor helped her carry boxes up the stairs. They arranged furniture, hung curtains, and filled the kitchen with groceries. When everything was done, they all sat on the floor drinking tea in mismatched cups. Mira looked around the room with quiet awe. "I never thought life would give me another chance," she whispered. Ayan looked at her kindly. "Sometimes life doesn't give chances. People do." The room fell silent, but it was a warm silence. A silence that wrapped around them like a blanket, telling them that new beginnings don't always arrive loudly. Sometimes they arrive through small acts of kindness, through strangers who stop at the right moment, through understanding eyes that say, "I see your pain." This story belongs to people like Mira who rise even when broken, to children like Sammy, whose courage grows in the cracks of their fear, to people like Ayan, who carry their own struggles but still choose to help others stand. And to every viewer listening right now, this story is also for you. Let it remind you that kindness is never small. One warm meal, one soft question, one moment of choosing compassion over convenience. You never know whose life you might change. Dear viewers, if this story touched your heart, please take a moment to share your thoughts in the comments. And once again, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to Whispers of Kindness. Your support helps these stories keep reaching people who need them the most.